What if I told you that the biggest problem in your life isn't your circumstances, your past, or even other people? What if the real enemy has been hiding in plain sight, right between your teeth, your tongue? Sounds dramatic, right? But think about the last 24 hours. How many times did you speak death over yourself? I'm too old for this. I'm terrible with money. I always mess things up. You thought you were just being honest. But Proverbs 18:21 calls it something else, choosing death. Here's what most people don't realize. You're not just describing your life when you speak, you're prescribing it. Every negative declaration is like signing a contract with reality. I never finish what I start. My family has always struggled financially. I'm just not a confident person. These aren't observations, they're orders. And your subconscious, it's a perfect employee. It follows instructions exactly. A woman in her late 50s once told me she'd been saying for 30 years, I'm just not good with technology. Then she wondered why she felt anxious every time she had to use her phone. Her words had built a neural pathway. Science calls it neuroplasticity. The Bible calls it the power of the tongue. Same reality, different textbooks. Let's go back to Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Notice it does not say death and life are in your circumstances, in your bank account, or in your diagnosis. It says in your tongue. And that second part, they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. You're already eating fruit. The question is, what kind of fruit are you eating? What words are you speaking? Are they of defeat or of life? If you have been speaking defeat, you're tasting defeat. Think about it this way. Your words are seeds. James 3 compares the tongue to a small spark that sets a forest on fire. Small, but catastrophic. Or life-giving, depending on how you use it. You plant seeds every time you speak. I'll never get out of debt. That's a seed. My health is declining and there's nothing I can do. Another seed. And seeds don't care about your intentions. They just grow. Jesus took it even further in Mark 11:23. He said you can speak to mountains, actual obstacles in your life, and they'll move. But here's the catch. He didn't say think at the mountain. He said speak to it, out loud, with conviction, not as a wish, as a command. Why? Because faith without corresponding action is dead. And speaking is the action that activates faith. It's the difference between hoping something changes and declaring that it will. A man in his mid-40s had been stuck in the same income bracket for 15 years. Every performance review, same result. Every opportunity, passed over. He'd say things like, I'm just not management material, and I'm better as a worker bee. Then he started an experiment. Every morning for 90 days, he spoke one sentence out loud. I am capable, I am confident, and I bring value wherever I go. It felt ridiculous at first. It felt like he was lying to himself. But something shifted. He started contributing more in meetings, volunteering for projects he'd normally avoid. 6 months later, he got the promotion. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe his brain finally believed what his mouth had been declaring. Neuroscience backs this up. When you repeatedly speak something, your brain creates new neural pathways. It's called self-directed neuroplasticity. Your words literally rewire your thoughts. Your thoughts shift your behavior. Your behavior changes your results. The Bible knew this thousands of years before brain scans existed. So, how do you actually do this? How do you break a lifetime of negative speech patterns? 3 steps. First, catch yourself. For the next week, pay attention to what you say about yourself, your finances, your health, your future. Don't judge it, just notice. Most people are shocked when they realize how much death they've been speaking. Second, find your replacement script. Go to scripture and find what God says about your situation. Struggling financially? Philippians 4:19. My God shall supply all my need according to his riches in glory. Battling fear? Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Feeling inadequate? Philippians 4:13. You know the one. Don't just read it, memorize it. Third, speak it out loud. Daily, not once, multiple times. When doubt creeps in, and it will, speak it again. When circumstances contradict it, speak louder. This isn't about denying reality, it's about declaring a higher reality, God's reality. The one that says you're more than a conqueror, healed by his stripes, and blessed coming in and going out. Here's what happens when you start speaking life consistently. First, your internal dialogue shifts. That critical voice that's been narrating your failures for decades, it gets quieter. Not overnight, but gradually you notice it. You stop agreeing with lies. Second, your faith strengthens. Romans 10:17 says, faith comes by hearing. When you hear yourself declare God's promises, your spirit rises up. Doubt loses its grip. You start expecting breakthrough instead of bracing for disappointment. Third, opportunities appear. Not because words are magic, but because you're finally positioned to see them. That business idea you dismiss because you're not smart enough, you pursue it. That conversation you avoided because you're too awkward, you initiate it. Your words changed your posture, and your posture changed your path. And here's the part that matters most. When you speak life, you don't just change yourself, you change the atmosphere around you. Your family hears it, your coworkers feel it. You become a source of hope instead of an echo chamber of despair. Death and life, you've been given the power to choose. Every single day. You've spent years, maybe even decades, letting your tongue steer you into storms, into lack, into fear, into smallness. And all along, you had the power to speak a different course. Proverbs 18:21 isn't a suggestion, it's a law. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. You're speaking one or the other right now. There's no neutral, no in between. If this landed on you the way it needed to, subscribe. Because we're going deeper into the truths most people never hear from the pulpit, the ones that actually change your life when you apply them. So here's the question you need to sit with. What have your words been building? And more importantly, what are you going to start building tomorrow? What if I told you that the